Hey, good afternoon, Sophie. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. Is Sophie? It's a good name for me to call you. Is that what you prefer to be called as?
Sophie's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. Cool. Well, thanks for coming to meet with me today. It's great to meet you. I'm excited for our first session together. Kind of one of the first things I want to talk about today is just kind of get to know you. Tell me, just I don't know, how old are you? Some about your family. Religious experiences or religious cultural identity, stuff like that.
Well, I'm 47 and happily married. My husband is an EMT worker, and he works at night. We also have 3 children. They're all teenagers. We follow the Christian belief, but not too much. We mainly just do religious holidays.
Okay, gotcha. So it sounds like you got a lot on your plate then,
Yeah, a
married.
little bit, a little bit.
You said your husband works overnight too, so
hmm
pretty busy. You kind of have opposite schedule, especially with the we have with kids too, having the 3 kids there. Um, Tell me, so this is obviously like our first session together. I've kind of got some information about you here, but I really want to hear from you. What's bringing you in today? Like, what's your reasoning for coming out for, you know, reaching out to me and wanting to do our session together?
Well, I've worked in an IT company for 12 years.
Oh yeah, tell me about your job actually. What do you do for work?
Um, well, I just mainly just do IT work. I've been there for 12 years.
Okay.
Since then, I've gained 60 pounds.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that's why I came in. Recently, I did blood work.
How much do you weigh currently?
I weigh about 150, 160. But yes, I did blood work recently, and I was pre-diabetic. And then when I got my lab work done, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. So I called you, and just so you can see, you can help, so you can help me out with my type 2 diabetes, getting it under control and all.
Okay, gotcha. Well, it's really cool. I'm glad you reached out to me. I think obviously today will be kind of just an introductory session, getting to know each other a little bit. But I think we'll really be able to work well together, and I just kind of want to understand your goals and your kind of day-to-day activities and diet and stuff like that. And I think we'll be able to have a lot of success here. Um, so you mentioned that you recently got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes.
Correct.
And were you like pre-diabetic before? Did you know about it or?
I was pre-diabetic probably quite a couple years ago.
Okay, so.
Yeah,
Right.
I've known for a while, but
Okay.
recently
But the type 2 diabetes is more of a recent thing,
hmm
and it's something that you really want to get under
under
control.
control. Correct.
What would you say on like a scale of 1 to 10? Like how important is this change for you?
Probably like 7, 8.
Okay, so pretty important.
Pretty important.
Okay,
hmm
and you know, why is it so important to you?
Well, my kids are teenagers, and I would like to see them, graduate high school and college. Well,
Mhm.
mainly my husband. He just mainly wants me to get my type 2 diabetes under control.
Right.
and,
Yeah. It's
my blood
pretty
levels.
prevalent in today's society. Type 2 diabetes is pretty common, um, and so yeah, I get that. I understand it. It's hard, especially when you have a family and stuff. Like you want to be healthy for them, and so that's probably a lot of your motivation. Have you ever spoken to a nutrition counselor before, or is this your first time?
No, I haven't. This is my
First
first
time.
time.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, next I kind of want to just I know now kind of about you, your family, your work life, stuff like that. Um, and the reason that's bringing you in today, obviously, your diabetes and the weight gain you mentioned as well. So let's go ahead and go through. I want to do something called a 24-hour recall. And what that is basically I want to just hear what a typical day is like for you,
Okay.
from when you get up, kind of what your schedule's like, but more specifically, what you're eating
Okay.
throughout the day. So tell me first, like what time you get up when you normally have breakfast in the morning.
I wake up around like 6:30 and cook breakfast for the kids and I, which is
Okay.
like eggs, bacon,
So just kind of like a standard breakfast. Gotcha.
standard, right? And then I go to work around 8:30. But beforehand, I drop the kids off at school.
Right.
And then I probably have a snack around 10:30 at work, which is like chips or something around, like
Okay.
the vending machine.
Right.
And then I have my lunch break, which I just go to a fast food restaurant right next to my work,
Okay. What's a typical fast food restaurant that you're going to?
like Zaxby's, Chick-fil-A,
Okay.
something like quick
Something
and
that's
easy.
quick, right there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then when I get off work, I pick up the kids from school, and then when I get home, my husband's just waking up, and he's cooking dinner. right before he goes to work.
Okay. What's a typical dinner like for him?
Mainly a lot of beef,
Okay.
like spaghetti, just
Gotcha.
like steak and rice, something like that. You know,
Okay.
a lot of red beef.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and then he'll go to work, and then I usually, you know, get the kids to bed around, you know, 9:30, 10 o'clock,
Mhm.
you know, and then later, right after that, when I'm watching the evening news, I'll have like either ice cream or like a second dinner,
Okay.
you know, before I go to bed.
Okay. Um, cool. Well, that it sounds that's just kind of like what a typical day is like for you. Um, would you say that that's kind of like a typical pattern for you? Kind of
Yeah, that's.
that's like the
Hmm.
that mid early afternoon snacks and like the late night snacks or desserts stuff like that. It's kind of typical.
Yeah, it's pretty much basically spot on. You
Okay.
know.
Okay. Uh, what would you say are some of the most frequent foods that you eat?
The most frequent foods?
Yeah.
Well, my snacks are the potato chips mainly. That's like
Okay.
my most frequent.
Kind of like everyday kind of thing, or
Mhm.
just work, probably mostly work days.
Mostly work days,
Okay.
right? And then, but like breakfast is just the standard eggs and bacon. You
Okay.
know, that's pretty much all that. And then my, you know, snacks at dinner. You know, at my after like snack dinner,
Mhm.
or after dinner snack. And that's basically like pretty much the ice cream or at the second dinner. That's basically.
Okay. And I forgot to ask you. So that's your typical Monday through Friday. What are you doing on the weekends? What's
Oh,
the
on the
typical weekend like
weekends?
for you?
I usually take like a cooking seminar, or I just have cocktails with some friends.
Okay. All right. It's like a every weekend kind of thing.
Mm-hmm, for the most part.
Okay. Um, so cool. I've kind of got your weekly schedule or what your diet's like and what your most typical foods are. So it sounds like eggs, bacon, and the chips and um, the fast food and like that stuff. Have you noticed like maybe a little bit of a pattern there of kind of
Yeah.
those kinds of foods that you're eating?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, it's something we can elaborate on and touch on later. But definitely is good to know. Um, what would you say has been um, obviously you brought yourself in here today because you want to make a change,
Right.
and you've been struggling with whatever changes that you want to make. So what would you say are like what's been holding you back? I mean, like what's made it tough for you? With what's contributing probably to your weight gain and stuff like that. Like what's been tough for you with those things?
Mainly like the kids. You know, they've put a lot of stress on me.
Yeah,
You know,
three teenagers, I could imagine.
yeah, that, and then I don't really work out, so I
Okay.
just basically just eat.
That's something that you want to do.
Yeah, I'd like to. You know,
Yeah.
eventually like slowly start into getting a workout.
What's holding you
routine.
back from working out? Would you say?
Work and the kids and stuff
Yeah,
like that,
just
and
being busy.
just being
Time.
too busy. Time.
Too
Hmm.
little time. Gotcha. Um, and so really you're just saying like you're just busy, so you don't really have like a lot of time in your hands to I guess go to the gym and cook healthier meals or basically what you're saying.
Right. I don't have much free
Okay.
time.
I understand. Everyone gets pretty busy. That's tough. One thing I will say is you can really change how your thought process works. It's kind of proven in just like psychology and especially in nutrition and stuff like that. That the way you look at things can really change. So, one little piece of advice that I have for you is instead of looking at it as like you being so busy. And not having the chance to cook or this and that or work out, you could look at it as like it's really awesome that you have a family and you have kids and you have like a steady life and a job and like a lot of people don't would kill to have that sort of thing. So that's just a way to turn like kind of like a little bit of like a negative thought into a positive thought, and that can really be beneficial for you as a person and in your life just in general, especially with like what we'll be talking about today in our upcoming session. So that's just a little bit of advice for you. Next, I kind of want to do some more specific goal setting.
Okay.
So tell me you've mentioned that your goal is to get your weight under control, get your diabetes under control,
Right.
which those are both awesome. Those are great things. But with goal setting, what's really important is using this thing called SMART goals, which
Mhm.
SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable, rewarding, and they're time bound. So yeah, getting your diabetes under control, getting your weight under control, those are really important. Those are awesome goals to have, but those are kind of just broad. So what I want to also do today is kind of set some more like specific goals that we can put like a time bound, make them time bound to like by this day I want to accomplish this. Like I want to, have this goal, and they have to be things that are realistic and
Right.
attainable in that amount of time. So what would be some ideas that you would have? Like, what are some things that just tell me some specific things that you think are contributing to or prohibiting you from accomplishing your overall goal, and I'll help you make up some specific goals. So, like, what are some things you think are prohibiting you?
Definitely probably like eating fast food every
Mhm.
day at work. That and also like the ice cream slash like late dinner,
Right.
that has helped.
The late night snacks, yeah.
Yeah, that's also contributed.
Okay.
Um, Also, I probably should change it up on maybe like just instead of the generic eggs and bacon breakfast. I should
Mhm.
probably like change it up a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more healthier options.
Yeah, yeah, those are definitely stereotypically like some fattier foods, delicious. I mean, everyone loves bacon. Don't get me wrong, but um, okay, cool. So let me think of some ideas here. So you said pretty much Monday through Friday you eat fast food for lunch,
Correct.
Just on your lunch break at work,
Hmm.
sit around early afternoon or mid afternoon
Right.
time. Okay, so how about a goal that's kind of following the criteria that I was talking about? Um, let's do. How's this sound? So instead of eating fast food 5 days a week, how about just 2 days a week? you um, you pack your lunch instead of going to eat out at fast food.
Okay.
You just make a sandwich at home. It really doesn't take too long, or you know, a sandwich or just some fruit. Maybe you can make a salad or something like that.
Hmm.
So let's do 2 days a week. You won't eat fast food and you'll pack your lunch for work instead. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that
That's
sounds
something,
good.
and like that can just be something you can try and start like right now.
Okay.
And I think that's something that you'll be able to accomplish. So let's make that one goal. A second goal, just right now, obviously we'll change and add on and take off goals as we go through our sessions, and we'll see how
Right.
you react to everything. But a second goal we could do. Um, you mentioned the late night snacking. You think that that's probably contributing to some of your
Hmm.
problems. Um, and that's like every night before you go to bed, kind of you're eating ice cream
Hmm.
like a second dinner. So how about we don't even have to completely get rid of those things, because if that's something that you enjoy and you like to unwind wine at the end of the night with those sort of things, like, I think that's awesome. That's important, and I don't want to like make you have this dramatic change, because I don't think that would help be successful. So how about instead of um, removing any of that, we'll do same day. We'll do 2 days, different days than the days that you're uh, packing your lunch.
Okay, so different days.
Yeah, different
Okay.
days. You just cut your portions in half at the end of the night. So if
Okay.
you're having a second dinner, just do it like half of the portions. Or if you're gonna have ice cream, it's fine. Do just half the portions of ice cream. So
Okay.
opposite days. So we'll have 4 days a week where we're making changes, but they'll just be little changes on those
Okay.
days, and we'll see how it goes. Does that sound like something you'd be willing to try?
Definitely. More than
Okay, awesome. Um, really, the way that we're able to, it's important to be able to track your goals, like I said, and make them attainable, make them measurable. So I really need you to just be honest with me when you come in. Like, you have to understand, like, this is a judgment-free zone. Like, I'm here to help you.
Hmm.
I have a lot of patients that I work with, and everyone's different, but like, you don't have to be embarrassed. Like, I want you to just come in and report to me, like, if you failed or if you succeeded, and help me feel, stuff like that. And I think that'll be good. So let me just, I'll get these goals written down for you, and then I'll give them on a piece of paper and hand them to you, so you can take
Okay.
them home with you as well. Um, uh, so now I just want to do a little bit of some education on just like some general nutrition. You mentioned that you think the breakfast you're having isn't probably the healthiest thing in the world. Um, and the late night snacking, you're aware of that, the fast food as well. Um, and so, I don't know, I just want to give you a little bit of a background on some of that stuff. Eggs and bacon, delicious, great breakfast. Um, I'm not sure how aware you are of, uh, fat, saturated fat, stuff like that, but eggs and bacon typically they're high in fat. So while they're good and they're easy, and especially for kids and stuff, they're great. That is definitely like a higher fat option, something that we'll have to look at in the future. For right now, it's
Mhm.
fine. We're just making another change. We're just kind of like educating you and trying to make you a little bit aware. um, and obviously, you mentioned the fast food. I think everybody pretty much knows fast food is not the best option for you, even though it's great. We're making some changes there, so that'll be good. Just some small things, and then obviously, the snacking before you go to bed and having a second meal. Um, Not always the best option as well, but I think it's really great that you're here and you're listening and that you're willing to try and make these changes with those things. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of background on those things. Um, do those sound like things that you're willing to try and things that you'll be able to do, or?
I definitely think these are obtainable goals that I can reach.
Yeah.
It's not like a lot all at one point. It's just taking, instead of eating fast food every day at lunch, I just bring in,
Right.
sandwich or something into work 2 days, and then when I'm at home, so for the other time, I can just like make adjustments when I'm home, on like the portion size of my second dinner.
Right. Do you think that there might be something that'll hold you back, or you're like?
I mean, the only thing like a terrible day at work or something, something like that it's like out of my reach, something that
Time. It's hard with time.
So I mean, it's just having like I don't have like a lot of time.
Right.
It's just with 3 teenagers and stuff
Okay.
like that, and my husband works the night shift at EMT, so I'm basically all on my own.
Yeah, especially during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha. But I mean, how important is it to you? To really make these changes.
It's pretty important.
Yeah.
Since I have type 2 diabetes, I've read that a lot of people have died from type 2 diabetes, so I'm like concerned about, what, since I have type 2 diabetes, like what can happen with me, so I really want to like lower my my blood levels of my type 2 diabetes, so that's basically.
This is something that's worthwhile for you to really like try and put the time in and the effort to make these changes.
Correct.
Okay, cool. And I mean, do you believe that you'll be able to succeed with this?
Over time, not
Yeah.
like the first month, but
Yeah.
like in like 6 months, like
Well, yeah, you
6 months.
can't ever
maybe.
rush these things. But
Right, but I could see myself, reaching these goals.
Cool. It's really good to hear. Well, yeah, no, this has been great. I've gotten to know you, kind of learned about you, and what's brought you in, your family, and kind of your day to day. We've kind of identified some goals. I've learned about some things that you struggle with and that you might think that might hold you back, and I can kind of taught you about how to turn some negatives into some positives. It's really good, and I think that, like I said, obviously this is our first session, so it's kind of just like a general, getting to know each other kind of thing and talking about everything. But I think that with some other sessions, we'll really be able to work together. And you even said on a scale of 1 to 10 how important it is to use like a 7 or 8, so it's pretty important. And I think it's important as well, and I think that's good. So, the goal for you overall is, like you said, to lose some weight, get your condition under control. Specifically, we've set some goals that are, 2 days a week you're going to not eat fast food for lunch. 2 days a week you're not going to have such big portions before you go to bed. And I think that those are 2 things that for right now, between now and our next session, that you can really work on. I educated you a little bit on some of the food group in the morning as well. I'm not saying you have to change those things right now because you don't want to do too much at once. But I think that just kind of just start thinking about things. Just be more aware. Do you have any questions or any concerns for me? Anything?
No.
Okay. Well, let's today's Wednesday. Is Wednesday always going to be kind of a good day for you to meet up?
For the most part, Wednesday
Okay.
should be fine.
So you want to meet up next Wednesday again for our next session, and we'll kind of talk about how it's been with the goals that we've set for you, just over the next week.
Yeah,
Does that sound good?
perfectly fine.
Okay. All right, great. Well, I really appreciate you coming to sit down with me today. I think we'll really be able to have a lot of success here, and it's awesome that you kind of come to me on your own, and that you want to make these changes for yourself and for your family and for your kids, and I think it's really cool, and appreciate you coming in, and I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday.
All right, I'll see you next Wednesday.
Sounds great. Thank you.